Good evening, Bethany family, and welcome to another recap. It's hot up in here in New Jersey today. It's a warm day, but it's making my Monday a little.
Warm. Did you say warm? It is
I
not
know
warm.
it is really hot.
It's
But you
really
know
hot.
what's so crazy though? It was so cold at work today. Like I had like a hoodie on, and
Uh-huh.
it's just so funny. Like when you sit inside, you see people walking like all outside, all hot, and then you're like
Yeah.
inside, like with a hoodie, like, oh, I'm a little cold. I'm a little cold. So
It,
it felt good once I went outside, but now, yeah.
I'm over it.
But like I said, it is a warm day, a hot day here in New Jersey, but it's making the Monday even better by coming on here and talking with you guys and just conversating about this word that we experienced yesterday with the encounter service from Bishop David G. Evans. But before we get into all that, let's handle some things firsthand, right? I want you guys to like, comment, and share. Let someone know that we're on today. Welcome them. Have your own little recap in the comments. We love to hear your input. We love to hear your questions. We love to hear, your perspective of this week's sermon. But make sure that you like, comment, and share so it can pop up on someone's feed. Whether you're tuning in on Facebook or you're on YouTube, text somewhere right now. Send them the link. You can always share the link to a text message. They have all those features on your phone or on your computer. I encourage you to do that right now, right, Sister Mai?
Absolutely. I think a fun thing too that you can do is you can actually share a video during a FaceTime. So
Yeah.
you can do that too while we're having our conversation about yesterday's service. Like you can
Mhm.
do the same thing, be part of the conversation we're having today with your friends. So
Yeah.
hi.
Come on, have your own. I want to hear your own perspectives of your recap, right? And you are, like Maya always says, you are our fourth host up
Yep.
here. What, no matter what number is up here, you are always that additional host. So we want
Your
to hear.
honorary host, yes.
So make sure that you like, comment, and share, because this is the time where we just join together and we just fellowship, and we also just learn from each other's experiences, learn from each other's perspectives. Something that I love about the recap is that we just get up here and we see this. We see the word in so many different lenses, and we add our own little spice to it, and it just turns out to all connect. But I'm not surprised by that, because that's just God, moving through the conversation, and also, getting us all together and having this conversation, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
right now, please make sure that you like, you comment, and you share. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And if this is your first time tuning in with us, please make sure you put that VIP in the comments, because we don't want you to just watch. And if it's your first time, we don't, we want to shout you out. We don't want you to feel
Absolutely.
like you're not a part of the family, right?
Right.
So make sure that you put that VIP in the comments so we can show you a whole lot of love if this is your first time. What were
Mhm.
you going to say, Sister Maya? Sorry,
I
I
just
cut you
wanted to
off.
give a shout out to Mylita who's watching or who's tuning in with us from Buffalo, New York. We're so happy to
Woo!
see you, and to everyone else who's watching. Don't be shy. Say hello in the comments. Again, we're just family having a conversation, so we definitely want to hear from you. So let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments. If you're watching for the first time, type VIP like Kev said. And yeah, let's do this. Let's be part of this conversation.
And something I've noticed, that we do have some like secret watchers. So
I
like,
know.
don't be shy. Let us know, your name, or just send us an emoji or something,
Mhm.
and join the conversation, right?
Yeah.
So, we are in the Secret Place series. We've been in it for weeks now, and we months,
Yeah.
right? And we have just been growing week after week, month after month. And Bishop, this series, like every series, has been helping us in so many different areas of our life. And that is what Bishop does. He is such a great leader, and
Yeah.
he's such a great teacher. And he gives so much to us. He pours so much into us. So we want to do that for him.
Mhm.
So how can we do that this month, Sister Mai?
So we can do that by celebrating him on his 32nd pastoral anniversary. This month is, like Kev said, is such a special month because we're just taking the time to let Bishop know how much we love and appreciate him for all that he does for us day in and day out as senior pastor of Bethany Church. We come to church on Sundays and Wednesdays, but church still goes on on the other 5 days of the week, and Bishop is always there. So we want to make sure that we just take this time to celebrate him. Of course, we are asking for videos to send in a video 60 seconds or less, just letting us know how much you love and appreciate Bishop, and then we can combine them into a celebration video on his anniversary. But then we're also collecting a love offering. $100 if you can do it, but whatever you can do just to show Bishop how much you appreciate him. That's something that we're doing as well. Now we are celebrating all of this Sunday, the 24th. So I agree, Kevin. Bishop is the best. So don't wait to the last minute, the last moment to send in those videos. And again, just especially during this time, like, we need to make sure that we rally around Bishop and just show him how much that we love and care for him and to be of support to him. So all that to say, I hope that you will come out with us on Sunday. We will be, of course, we'll be having our 8 a.m. service, but we want you guys to come out if you're in the area to our 11 a.m. service, because after that service, we will be doing a drive-by parade where we will just be driving around the church and hooping our, I always say that, hooping our horns.
Hooping. She loves to say hooping. Not honking, but
honking our horns. And dropping off cards and yelling, happy, anniversary, Bishop. So it's a fun time. We want you to come out and join us on Sunday following our 11 a.m. service.
Yeah, so go ahead. Let's pour so much into Bishop. Because he does so much, especially behind the scenes. So, you know me, I love celebrations. I think everyone should be celebrated. I think everyone should be given their flowers while they are here. And you hear that. So everyone needs that. I don't care who you are. Everyone loves to feel that or hear that. So let's give Bishop his flowers. Let's show him how much we appreciate him and how much we love him. So like Sister Maya said, please make sure that you send those pictures, those videos to social@gotobethany.com. And if you are in the local area, please make sure that you join us this Sunday. You'll see us out there. We want to see the signs. We want to see you guys. You've done it in the past. You guys done a great job with decorating your cars. You brought the balloons out. You've had the poster boards. I've seen pictures of Bishop on, the cars and everything.
Oh my gosh, the way these people decorate their cars, it's you guys are so creative.
They are, because my car is filthy. So So the fact that you guys keep your cars clean and then also decorate it, I give you all the credit. But we want to see that this upcoming Sunday so we can make Bishop feel so special, right? Sister Mai, so I see some people coming in. You want to shout them out? Go ahead.
Speaking of giving everyone their flowers, we want to give you guys your flowers. Thank you so much. We love you all so much, and we're just so appreciative of you all and that you're part of our Bethany family. So a special shout out to Keisha, Miss Davis, Sylvia, Hunter, I see you in the comments, Kevin, my Lita. We're just so happy that you're here with us today.
Yeah, and let us know how you enjoyed this week's service, because that worship. I'm gonna have to talk to Chris too, because that song that he sung before we received that word, I was like, hold up now. I had to go back and watch it again. But I do encourage you guys, if you did not get the chance to watch service yet, it is going to be rebroadcasted tonight. But, get ready for a little treat of what happened as we discuss it. But I want to hear you guys in the comments today too. Help us out with the questions and your perspectives and everything today, right? So Bishop, this week, like I said, he continued in the Secret Place series, and he titled this sermon in particular, My Testimony.
My Testimony.
And you know me, I love my good music. I love my good worship music, and I'm always trying to tie a song to a sermon. So you already know Anthony Brown Testimony came to my head. I was every time that I heard Bishop say, I kept singing a song in my head.
I want to hear what you're hearing, Kev. Give us a little.
No, I'm not, because Minister Bush may be watching. And Maya, you are the quick man. I already know what you're doing. I already know. I see it. I see it. You know what it is. You've been around. You've been maximizing this Monday too much with Pastor Nick. That's what it is. Because he's starting to rub off on you. That's what it is.
Oh, no.
But no, honestly, I just love doing that because for me, like being a visual learner, I have to have all those things
Yeah.
to help me actually understand, not actually understand, but tie the word or apply it to my
Mhm.
life. So I do that through song. So when I hear a certain song, I love to tie it with a sermon because it makes me like, okay, like now I repeat these things and I say certain things that I learned in a sermon, right? So when Bishop said my testimony, I was just like, hold up. Now, Bishop, now you about to step into some things that people may not want to talk about,
Wow.
right? So Bishop stated that Satan is testing our knowledge of God. This is because in the realm of knowledge, is where he finds gaps in our walls of faith. Your testimony transforms the problems of other people.
Mhm.
Testimony repeated by someone will give them strength and encouragement that they can make it. It becomes a word to them, and that word rebukes Satan and calls angels at the same time.
Yeah.
Angels go where they hear the word of God. We have to build our testimony through experience and through personal, passionate, and intentional pursuit of the presence of the Almighty God.
Yeah.
So, Sister Maya, I want to hear what are your thoughts about, this sermon, especially being titled My Testimony?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I loved it. Just the power of the testimony, not
Mm,
only to speak into your life, in remembrance of where you've come through and the journey and the struggle of it all, but
mhm,
also the impact that it will have on other people's lives. And I think that's what sometimes we overlook as
yeah,
Christians, that we're not going through these things for self gain.
mhm,
We're doing this also because it's going to be a blessing to someone else who's looking at our example and
yes,
seeing our testimony, and being able to maybe make different choices, or have that example of, okay, you made it through, I can too. Or if God was that good to you, He's going to be that good to me. So there's so much power in our testimony, and I love that Bishop touched on this, because I don't know. I just think that sometimes we can just be a little bit, this might be too strong of a word, but we can be a little bit self-centered or self-focused, because
mm,
when we're in the moment, these things are happening to us. We're
yes,
in the secret place, like, of being comfort or whatever, where that's happening to us, but we're not always thinking about how, or I guess the outward appearance.
mhm,
That makes sense. So
a lot of sense.
I loved it.
I love that. And just to piggyback off what you said, I love that Bishop talked about this, title this My Testimony, because like you said, sometimes we really don't give our testimonies enough credit, because we just don't do this walk. I look at my walk with Christ not just for myself, but for my family, for my friends, for my students, for those that I'm you know con- connected with. um it's not just for me. So sometimes it can be, when you have that mindset, it can be self-centered, like, oh no,
Yeah,
I'm doing this to help myself, or just for my own healing. But your testimony can be someone else's healing, and I think that's the beauty of just church in general.
mhm,
You always say in our social media meetings, it's not about us, it's about those that we inspire, and they inspire us as well. So that's why, like, on every broadcast, we always say how important it is to fellowship, how important it is to communicate about this. Even like here on the recap, we love to hear each other's experience. We love to hear our own perspectives, because not just we're just up here talking, no, because we are growing and learning together.
mhm,
So you may share something, Maya, that I may not experience, but from your experience, I've learned something, or
yeah,
I've gone through something, right?
yeah.
Um, that's the beauty of your testimony. I think sometimes we don't look at that. You know,
No,
we
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 yeah.
we tend to put that under the rug, or we don't highlight those things. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, we don't appreciate the
Mhm.
experience. We don't appreciate the journey. And I'll say rightfully so, because no one wants to have to go through things. No one wants to
Right.
have to struggle. You know?
Yeah.
But I think sometimes it's important that we're able to take a step back,
Mhm.
and kind of see outside of the situation, and try to see, okay, what is the bigger picture? Now,
Mhm.
the bigger picture might look different for each of us, but we know that the bigger picture is that God says that He wants us to prosper. So if we
Yes.
get to that goal and see that that's what the bigger picture is for our lives, then it will make the process hopefully a little bit easier. But like I said, we have to be able to step out of those moments where things might just feel too heavy. And
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that. Can you highlight
yeah,
Kevin's comment? Yes, God knows what our breaking point is. Glad he does, because if I had the choice, I would not have chosen the trials I endure. On the other hand, now I understand why. Yes, I totally agree. And I feel like um a lot of parents can relate to, what Bishop was talking about, where, your testimony is for someone else's healing. Because we always used to hate hearing our parents like, I've been through that. I know, I know what you're going through and stuff like that. And we tend to not like hearing that, but we need to hear that because they went through that. Honestly, they went through that to teach us. And
yeah,
that's what a walk with Christ is. And that's what a walk with, your fellow, whoever your village is when it comes to walking with Christ. That village is supposed to help you endure those things that where you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. And like example with us, I may say to you, like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. And you can be like, listen, Kev, I went through that and this is what I did. And that's what your
hmm
testimony is all about. And
hmm
that's the beauty in it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, and if I could say one more thing, we learned early on in the secret place that part of being in the secret place is being able to surround yourself
mhm,
with a support system of people who are in the faith with you and are wanting to support you in that way.
mhm,
So it's important that we don't close ourselves off
right.
to being receptive
Mhm,
to hearing other people's experiences and testimonies, not because, we need to do what they tell us to do, but because we
right.
can learn, even if it's in learning to do something different than they did. So that's it.
That's so true because sometimes we may get, ahead of ourselves and we may not want to be willing to hear someone else's testimony
Hmm.
where instead of, us thinking like, oh, we're not listening to them, that actually is, having a negative effect on us because God may have put that person in your life for a reason to tell you
Absolutely.
their testimony.
Hmm.
So why do you feel like some Christians may devalue their testimony? Like, I truly believe that some feel like they've endured something, but they don't feel like they're at a certain point in their walk with Christ where it's their testimony has a lot of value.
Mm.
Like it may be someone that joined, church 6 months ago and they walked with Christ, but they've experienced so much. But they're like, I don't read my Bible as much as my pastor may read it, or as much as my grandmother or my mom doesn't read it. So I can't quote that many scriptures or apply it to certain things. Why do you feel like Christians may devalue their testimony?
That's a hard question because I feel like it can be so many different things. I think it can be comparison, like you said, where we're looking at the things that other people are doing.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'm not reading my Bible like pastor is. But I think also too that I think we undervalue the experience because we think other people go through it.
Mhm.
Everyone at some point in life loses a loved one, but that
Mm,
doesn't make your hurt and your journey through that struggle and overcoming, what can come with that
mhm.
any less just
Yeah.
because someone else went through it. So I think is that aspect of things too that we think, oh, because everyone's going through it, that what makes my experience so
Mhm.
important or as impactful.
I love that. And can you highlight Sister Sylvia's
Sure.
comment, please? She stated, for me, it was learning how to discern our bush and not turn away from it so that we can strengthen our relationship with God. And
Mhm.
I think discernment is such an important thing for us as we walk with Christ and as we have this relationship with Christ because having that discerning spirit is so important
Yeah.
because you got to, we go through things and we have to know what's for us and what's not for us. And also, we also have to appreciate those moments when we went through so many wilderness and we experienced so many storms that you be like, oh my gosh, why did I experience that? But now you should be saying, I'm happy I experienced that because now I see why I went through it. I
Mm-hmm.
see why, I had to go through that season of maybe being broke. Now I appreciate money. Now I know how to handle my money. Now I know how to give my money. Now I know how to tithe now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that discerning spirit is so important, especially in your walk with Christ. No matter if you're a old saint, a new saint, it
Yeah.
just does not matter. What do you say, Sister Mai?
No, I agree. I think everything that we go through is an opportunity to learn and to gain experience. Whether it's fun to go through or not, you know, that's the thing. But Pastor Nick and I were talking this morning during Maximize Monday. We were talking about failure and trying, and
Mm,
that sometimes people will not try things because
yeah,
they're afraid of failure.
yeah,
But I was saying I like to look at things where every failure, for lack of better words, is a success because I'm learning. Okay, this
mm,
doesn't work. Okay, I need to do something different, right? So you're still learning in that process of failing, and I think the same thing applies to this. There are things to learn when we're going through.
yeah,
We
absolutely.
like it or we don't. You
Yeah,
know, so I think I like to look at it introspectively and say, okay, what can I get from this? What can I learn about myself? In this process, what can I learn about others? And, even if you don't understand it now,
yeah.
years from now, it can click and make sense. So,
Mhm. Absolutely. So Bishop said temptation is Satan's chief weapon now.
hmm,
Deception is a weapon, but there is no deception without a temptation. The temptation is first and the deception follows. As a child of God, you can expect temptation, and the enemy will twist the word coming through someone that you trust.
hmm.
Satan wants to be your secret place. The
Hey,
enemy
Charlotte.
is going to try to influence you, but you have to have a testimony that you are a child of God.
Hmm.
Trust is proof that you know Him, and childlike faith is what God needs from us.
Hmm.
Whew. So when Bishop said that Satan wants to be your secret place, what was going through your head, Mike? Like when he said that, because when I was when Bishop said that yesterday, I was like I literally was lost for words because it's so true. You know, Satan can only do but so much.
Hmm.
And he's going to use people and things that you may say or things that they may say to really influence your thinking and really influence your way of, handling certain situations and carrying yourself. And it's just all these ways of influence is just so he can be your secret place. So it's so crazy that, this whole time we've been looking at a secret place as a sacred place and as a place where we are vulnerable with God. But are we giving Satan that title of the secret place and being sacred with him? Like it had my mind going in so many different ways and thinking of so many different things. But what going back to my question, what were you thinking when
No,
Bishop said that Satan wants to be your secret place?
I was in the same boat, and I don't know why it's so surprising because Satan, he wants to put himself in the position of God, right? So it's not surprising to me that he would want to have that role
Mhm.
in our lives where we're finding comfort or what
Mm.
might look like comfort
Yeah.
in him. Um, I mean, it really makes you think about things.
Yes, it does. It really does. It makes you really, and that's what I love when
Yeah,
Bishop has those things where you be like, maybe 2 days later, you be like, wait, he said that. And it makes you like think of like past situations
yeah.
or maybe past friendships, past relationships, or past interactions. Like
Mhm.
it really has you thinking, right?
Yeah, and like you said, like he'll use those distractions. Have you ever played telephone when
Yes.
I used to play that game all the time? So for people who didn't play, this is how it goes.
Mm.
you guys get in a line, and usually the more people you have playing with you, the better.
Mm-hmm.
There's one person that starts or says a sentence, and it's supposed to travel down the line, and you're trying to see if the last person says the same sentence as the first person. Did I explain that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So for me, when I picture Satan trying to create distractions, that's how I picture it. That he's speaking into your ear something that might be close to what God said, but
Mm-hmm.
isn't the same, right?
Okay.
So you might think, "Oh, I can trust this. Oh, I what's being said isn't too crazy. Oh,
Right.
this is a secret place that I can abide in." But
Mm-hmm.
then you realize, especially when you're comparing what was said to the original, when you're comparing what was said to God's word, that is
Mm-hmm.
not the same, right? And so being able to use that
We're teaching. We're illustration.
being able to, like, going back to how you started this question, is being able to practice that discernment of what's being said around you, what's being said to you, who you're keeping in your friend circle.
Yeah,
It's really important.
that is so true. That
Mm,
is so true. Can you highlight Sister Kevin's
sure.
comment, please?
Mhm.
So, in terms of shared testimony, as a believer, we know that the experience is real. However, we may be afraid to tell others about our deliverance. For some people, testimonies are hard to believe from an
Mm,
all seeing, all knowing who cannot be seen. I love that because I think it's so true as Christians. We are so afraid at times to talk about our deliverance.
you don't wanna look crazy.
Yeah, you don't want to look crazy. You don't want to look like, oh my gosh, like I was that bad or I went through this worst situation, this horrible situation. Now I'm here. Like sometimes we're so afraid to do that, but you
Mhm.
never know who you are touching. You never know
Yeah.
who you're inspiring. And we say that all the time when it comes to, coming up here and dropping your questions and dropping your perspectives or just sharing your praise reports like we read on Engage. Like you never know who that is touching. And maybe
Yeah.
someone on the fence that, wants to jump into a relationship with Christ, but like, oh no, there's no one that actually endured what I went through or what I'm experiencing at this moment. So
Mhm.
I think that's so true. I definitely agree with that. What about you, Mai?
No, I agree, and I think I've shared this before, like, my testimony and being healed and how
Hmm.
crazy that was in my life that this happened, and so this happened while I was in high school. Like, I'm excited to go and tell my friends about it. Look what God did for me. And
Yeah.
I was just so surprised by the responses that I got from people who, you know, were Christians
Mm,
that didn't believe me or
mm,
tried to reason around it, you
yeah.
know? And I had this conversation with my parents, like, do I tell people? Do I not tell people?
That's
Because
so
you
true.
idea look crazy. But the conclusion I came to is that that's their journey. That's
Mhm,
their relationship with God. That's their calling on their life.
mhm,
I need to stay focused on mine. And
mhm.
so I don't want to be disobedient by not telling people,
Yeah.
because then I don't know what the impact would be for others. Not
Yeah.
that there would even be an impact, but you never know.
Oh, you never know.
You never know. So, as long as I do what I feel called that I'm to do,
Absolutely.
then I'm good.
Absolutely. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so true. That's so true. So, like we said, we love the recaps because this is what it's all about. Us, just pulling different, things from the sermon and really applying it to our situations, adding our perspectives, adding your perspectives, asking those questions because this a walk with Christ is always a teachable moment. It's going to always be a process where you're learning, where you're growing, where you may get knocked down, but you're going to get back up and you
Mhm.
learn from that experience and you share that testimony. So, we encourage you guys that throughout the week, let someone know about this sermon. Let
Yeah.
someone know about your personal testimony. If someone is in need of, just a conversation or has questions about it, refer them back to the church and let them know because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're called to do as Christians by sharing that testimony, sharing that word of God. Because as you know, and we were taught yesterday, the devil is trying to tempt us in so many different ways, and
Mhm.
maybe through situations, and maybe through jobs, and maybe through people, especially those that you love the most, right? So
Yeah.
please make sure that if you did not tune in, you can, tune in tonight at 7 o'clock. But again, please make sure that you like, comment, and share on all the broadcasts, because we have so much in store for you. So, Sister Mai, what
Yeah.
can they share? What can they like? What can they comment on throughout the week?
Share everything. Just share everything. Not for us, but because we know it's going to be a blessing to someone's life. But like Kev said, we do have a rebroadcast of yesterday's message tonight at 7 p.m. And then on Tuesday, tomorrow, we have Link Couples Ministry at 7 p.m. Now, last month, Pastor Nick started in the topic of the myths of marriage.
Oh, there's a lot of them. There are a lot of them.
Yes, and he breaks them all down, and he continues that tomorrow. So if you are engaged, seriously dating, married, we do encourage that you tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. For part 2 of the myths of marriage. And then, of course, on Wednesday, we have Word Impact with Bishop and Pastor Nick. And it's just great dialogue, great conversation on Bible study. So we want to make sure you tune in for that. And
Yeah.
then on point on Saturday at 9, I love these because it is a real world conversation.
Yeah.
Bishop and Pastor Nick, they talk about anything from politics to culture, sports, just things that are going on in life. So we want you can call in and you can ask them questions. So we want you to tune in on Saturday at 9 a.m. And then later in that evening at 6 p.m., we have Emerging Worship. It's geared toward our teens here at Bethany, but it's open to anyone to really just come and glean from the message that Pastor Nick has for us. And then, you know what's happening on Sunday?
Yes, Sunday.
Sunday's a
It's
big day, guys.
it's a big day. We have 8 o'clock service and we have 11 o'clock service, but we are celebrating our
Yes.
leader, our fearless leader, Bishop David G. Evans, on Sunday with our
Mm-hmm.
drive-by for his 32nd anniversary.
32
Pastoral.
years. 32 years. I said it. I said this morning. 32 years is a long time, but it's also how old I am, so it's not that long.
So well, it's older than me, so it's just like
But we want you to come out and to celebrate Bishop with
yeah.
us again. 32 years.
Mhm.
That's an accomplishment, and it's a sacrifice. So we want to
Absolutely.
take this time just to show Bishop how much we love and appreciate him. Use this as an opportunity to say thank you, to give him his flowers, and just to show Bishop that we are just so thankful for him. So
Absolutely.
make sure to
Absolutely.
come out with us on Sunday and just spend this time together. It's a fun time.
It's a great time. So,
Mhm.
as we always say, Bethany family, thank you to everyone in the comments. Loved your comments.
Yeah.
Shout out to all you guys, all the faithfuls that always tune in, that's always sharing, that's always commenting, that's always, liking. We love you guys. We truly do. And it's always an honor to come up here and just have this conversation with you guys and just to start
Mhm.
off right, right?
We love you guys, so we're always so happy to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we look forward to seeing you on social media throughout the week. And then hopefully we get to see your smiling, beautiful faces on Sunday as we celebrate Bishop. All right, Bethany family, you be blessed and be safe.
Bye.